All right, welcome to the step-by-step explainer. If you've been feeling like traditional AI tools, like ChatGPT, are maybe falling a bit short for your daily workflow, you are in the exact right place. Today I'm going to show you, from absolute zero, how to completely master Claude. This is Anthropic's AI, and let me tell you, it is completely changing the game. We're going to transform how you use AI, taking Claude from just a basic chatbot you tinker with into a highly functional, automated digital employee. Let's dive in.
So here's our roadmap for today. Number 1, why choose Claude? 2, setup and your very first steps. 3, connectors and the ecosystem. 4, desktop mastery. And finally, number 5, the power of prompting. Section 1, why choose Claude, the new standard in AI.
Now, it's totally valid if you're heavily using other tools right now and wondering, why on earth should I learn a whole new platform? Well, there's a reason a massive wave of professionals are making the switch. On the right side here, we have traditional options like ChatGPT. They're powerful, sure, but they can honestly feel a bit stiff sometimes. Kind of formulated, like you're definitely talking to a traditional machine. But on the left, we have Claude. Right off the bat, you're going to notice its language feels significantly more human. It's way less rigid and incredibly creative when it comes to analysis. But the real game changer isn't just the vibe, it's the infrastructure. Claude's base architecture is so robust that it acts less like a chatbot and way more like an actual digital worker integrated right into your business.
When you look at the paid plans, which usually run about $20 a month, it's super easy to hesitate if you just view it as another random subscription. But think about it this way. Don't compare that cost to your Netflix account. Compare it to the salary of an actual person helping you out. When you realize Claude can literally do the heavy lifting of a dedicated assistant, those $20 turn into the highest ROI you could possibly imagine. It's not just an app, guys. It's legitimately a new member of your team.
Moving on to Section 2, Setup and First Steps, Building Your Foundation.
Okay, so knowing how amazing Claude is won't do us any good if we don't set it up right. The first step is super simple. Just head over to the official web access at Claude AI and create your account. The free tier is fine for the basics, but the paid plan unlocks all the magic we're talking about today. Now pay close attention to step 2. Download the desktop app for Mac or Windows. Yes, there's a mobile app for iOS and Android, and it's great for on the go, but the desktop version is absolutely crucial for the file organization features we'll be using later. Finally, step 3. Import your context. You can actually feed Claude your professional profile, what you do, and how you want it to speak to you. That gives it a baseline memory right from day one.
But before we start assigning it tasks, we kind of need to understand how its fuel works. Unlike the flat message limits you might be used to with other models, Claude runs on a token system. Think of tokens as mental energy. As you use Claude, especially for really complex tasks with a ton of background context, this energy drains. If you run out during a session, you hit a limit. Understanding this token economy is totally vital so you don't run out of processing power right in the middle of a massive project.
Section 3. Connectors and ecosystem. Automating your workflow.
Listen, Claude really shouldn't live in a silo. It needs to talk to the tools you already rely on every single day to build a true automation ecosystem. And it has some seriously powerful native connectors. We've got Google Drive for instant file access, HubSpot to manage your CRM, and Slack for team comms. But the absolute coolest integration here is Granola AI. Granola is an app that records your meetings and creates AI-driven summaries. By hooking Granola directly up to Claude, Claude gets instant historical access to everything discussed in your private meetings, without you typing up a single manual summary. It completely changes the game for context.
All right, Section 4, Desktop Mastery, Organizing Your Digital Chaos.
Now we're at the absolute climax of this explainer. We're going to use a feature called Claude Cowork, which literally allows Claude to step outside the chat window and manipulate files directly on your computer. Handing an AI the keys to your hard drive sounds a little terrifying, right? Totally. That's exactly why we start with the sandbox protocol. Step 1. Literally create a brand new empty folder on your desktop and call it Claude Tests. Step 2. Grant Claude access only to this specific folder. That way, you can sleep soundly knowing it's not going to accidentally wipe your operating system. Step 3. Run your first safe experiments right in there.
Let's look at what Claude can actually do inside that folder, entirely in the background. You can literally just type into the Claude app, create 3 folders inside my sandbox: dogs, cats, and mice. And boom, they instantly appear on your hard drive. Then you say, create a Word doc inside the cats folder explaining what dogs are. It just generates the file. And here's the craziest part. If you say, wait, scratch that, I messed up, rewrite that Word doc to be about cats instead, Claude reaches into the file and completely rewrites it without you ever opening Microsoft Word. The whole shebang happens right from the chat interface.
So, let's be honest for a second. What exactly is hiding in your chaotic downloads folder right now? Come on, we all have one. It's an absolute digital dumping ground full of random screenshots, PDFs from like 2019, and forgotten installers. It's a complete disaster, and organizing it manually would literally take hours.
Well, this is where Claude steps in as the ultimate digital cleaner. You can point Claude Cowork at your downloads folder and just ask it to analyze the chaos. It'll come back and say something like, hey, I found 75 obvious duplicates and a bunch of old installers you definitely don't need. Here's a proposal for a clean folder structure. And the best part, you should always tell it, propose the structure first, let me approve it, and then execute. Once you give the thumbs up, Claude automatically sorts hundreds of files into clearly labeled, organized folders in seconds. It's exactly like asking an intern to clean up your files, except it happens instantly.
Which brings us to Section 5, the power of prompting, boundaries, and limits.
But listen, all this power requires control. Even the smartest AI in the world needs strict, explicit human guidance to succeed. A real-life mistake perfectly illustrates this. If you give a lazy prompt like, sort my downloaded photos, Claude might get overly analytical, read the metadata of every single image, and create 10,000 individual folders for every specific date and location. You'll end up with thousands of useless folders containing one photo each. No way. A good prompt sets boundaries. You've got to say, sort these photos into only these 10 specific categories. If you don't fence it in, the AI overthinks. You have to be super explicit.
And here is a massive pro tip for you. Always start a fresh chat for a new task. Remember those mental energy tokens we talked about earlier? Well, every single time you send a new message in a long, continuous chat, Claude rereads the entire history of that chat to maintain context. That chews through your token credits incredibly fast. So, if you switch from organizing your downloads to writing an email, open a new chat. It protects your limits and keeps the AI laser-focused.
When you combine excellent prompting with the right connectors, you reach this perfect end state. You can literally ask Claude in the morning to build your daily agenda. Because it's hooked into your calendar and your Granola AI meeting notes, it doesn't just say you have a call at 11 a.m. It actually pulls the historical data from your last meeting with that specific client, injects it into your agenda, and tells you exactly what follow-up points you need to address on that call. It's flawless, context-aware, and completely automated prep.
So I want to leave you with a bit of a provocative question. How much ROI are you losing every single day by not delegating your digital chaos to AI? We aren't setting these tools up just to play with fun tech. We're doing this to optimize your time and the health of your business. Stop wasting hours manually organizing folders, typing up summaries, and digging for context from old conversations. Set up Claude, establish those strict boundaries, and start treating it like your new favorite, highly efficient digital intern. The return on your time is going to be absolutely incredible.